Hello everyone, and welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
I'm not really sure.
But I know what I am doing technically.
So today we are going to take a look at another product from Minisforum that has been released relatively recently. It is right now, I checked again as I was getting ready for this video. Seems like it's not in the stock, but hopefully they will have it in stock soon because this is an amazing computer, at least from what I've seen in the specs. So I have to admit, one of the coolest things about this small computer is that for me is the fact that I can run it through a single Ethernet cable, that you can power the whole thing with a Ethernet cable. It is PoE. Okay, let me actually show you what I'm talking about. So this is the computer, S100-WLP Mercury series Minisforum, and in terms of specs, right, it comes with the N100 processor, which is a 10 nanometer CPU, and does have 4 cores, 4 threads, and can boost up to 3.4 gigahertz and supports maximum of 16 gigabyte RAM. They ship it with 8, so I don't know if it is upgradable, but just saying that the max this processor supports is 16 gigabyte. This one comes with the 8 gigabyte RAM, and that 8 gigabyte RAM is LPDDR5 4800 megahertz single channel RAM. So it also does have Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2, and comes with PCIe 4 SSD, supports dual 4K screens. As I said, it does have PoE and also USB-C power supply if you don't want to do PoE, and comes with Windows 11, or you can install Windows 11 on it. That I'm not sure yet about it. I'm going to check. And apparently it is also very silent. So let me move things around a little bit. Take it out. Okay, so that's the shrink wrap. Okay, so we take that out and it comes out like this. That's foam. That's the manual that nobody needs. And yeah, here you go. Wow, that's very thin. I didn't think it's going to be also lightweight, by the way, to the touch. Yeah, same weight, a little bit heavier actually than like the, I guess, 2 Raspberry Pis. Anyway, so first let's see what else is in there. Okay, so they ship a very short HDMI cable. I am not going to use that. And a USB-C cable, again, I'm not going to use that. And a power adapter, so that's cool. Okay, I was not expecting that because I can use this for many other things. And in terms of specs, output is 5 volt 3 amp, 9 volt 3, yeah, all voltages 5, 9, 12, 15, 20 outputs 3 amp for all voltages, and looks very nice. Can you see that? It does have some like patterns, some wet lines, and feels good to the touch. I like this. This alone is very nice. Okay, let me throw all this stuff away. Nothing else in there. Okay, first of all, let's take a look at some dimensions. Okay, let me turn it on, reset. Okay, the thickness is 20. So 20 millimeters is the thickness. Okay, 2 centimeters basically. It's 2 centimeters, and in terms of length, it is 15 centimeter by 5, let's say 6, 5.5. So 5.5 considering this round edge. So from here to this, 5.5 centimeters. Yeah, and this way it is 15 centimeters, let's say, less than 15 centimeters. If you are into inches, so that's going to be almost 6 inches this way, and 2.25 inch this way. Okay, so it is very small. Apparently, as I said, you can power it through this. And by the way, I love this trend. Like every single new board that comes out does have the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. So this one is no exception. Okay, so this is the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, and this is the power button, and this is the USB-C port where you can power it, also connect it to a display port, so power delivery or display port. And this is USB 3.2 Gen 2 port. There is also 2 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A 5 gigabit ports in here, and we have an HDMI port over here. By the way, there's one confusing thing. I'm glad I looked it up. So this looks like a reset button to me, but apparently it clears CMOS. So just be aware, this is not a reset. Might reset your computer as well, I'm not sure, but I just saw on their website this one is shown as a clear CMOS, not reset. So yeah, that's pretty cool and pretty small device, nothing special over here, and input is 20 volt. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna try with PoE, connect an HDMI and the mouse and keyboard, and we'll take it from there. I will be right back. Okay, so we are back, and I just booted into Windows and did some testing. So as you know already, this is not really a gaming computer. Obviously, I have the power consumption over here, so it is using the 20 volt and 0405 amps, and I just ran the 3D Mark, and this is the score. So kind of expected from the CPU. It is doing okay with that. And also I tested the SSD, and this is the speed that you're seeing on the screen. And also I tested with the iPerf, and it is 2.5 gigabit. So everything looks to be relatively in order. Also, just if you want to see when you play some 4K videos. Okay, so if we enable the stat for nerds, and if we go with the 4K and go on the full screen, yeah, so it does have absolutely no problem whatsoever playing 4K video, 60 FPS. Oh, this one's 30 FPS. So let me see if I find my old 60 FPS. Yeah, this one. Okay, very rare frame drops, but yeah, it is playing the 60 FPS also with absolutely no problem whatsoever. Okay, so this is, I'm doing it with the USB power. I just wanted to show you that the CPU score, the SSD score, the iPerf score, and the 3D Mark score. Cinebench 2024 doesn't run on this. We had another board with N100. I believe Cinebench 2024 is not really compatible with the Intel N100. But yeah, so far it looks great, and it is working without any problems whatsoever, and that's the speed. So if I want to just to show you the power consumption, I am going to just for a moment rerun the 3D Mark. So yeah, 20 volt, 0.6, 0.7 amp. So yeah, I don't think it ever reaches 1 amp. So that's pretty much it. 20 volts, 0.6, 0.7 amp, even when it is running the benchmark. Okay, so that being said, now I'm going to try two more things. One, I want to see if Linux works, Ubuntu works. Two, I want to show you the PoE. Okay, so let me shut this down. We saw the scores. I'm going to shut it down. It's done. All right, so as you can see, nothing is there, just the HDMI and the mouse and keyboard. Okay, and now I am going to plug the PoE, and look at this camera, look at the light. Okay, there you go, it turned on. Okay, so it works. While we are here, I just want to show you the BIOS as well. Yeah, this is the typical Minisforum BIOS, and you go to setup, you know, you have the stuff in here for the CPU, for ACPI, and so on. Trusted computing, yeah, it does have the TPM, and VMX is enabled, performance is on turbo, and all that stuff. Okay, I am going to insert the Ubuntu, and we are going to try to boot into Ubuntu and make sure that Ubuntu also works on this machine, because honestly, personally, myself, I don't see using Windows on this machine. I want no HDMI, no mouse and keyboard, and no you know, anything connected to USB. I just want it to be a server of, like, let's say DNS server, right? And connect the PoE to this and run the server on this. So okay, I thought that boot is the boot option. Okay, let's go to the boot options. Okay, so we come here for the boot override, and I'm going to boot from the USB device. There we go. And Ubuntu. Okay, so here's the deal. We are going to boot with just the Ethernet cable PoE, okay? But the problem is it does not work with any sort of Linux. The problem is that it is the BIOS is on some sort of you know, the SATA AHCI configuration, whatever, and there is no such thing in here in the settings. It is erroring out. There is no settings for SATA disk and AHCI and all that stuff. I couldn't can't find it. At least I can't find it. So because of that, it doesn't boot. So whatever, no matter what I did, I installed with secure boot enabled, not enabled. I installed on different. So if you use an external USB-C disk and drive, yes, that you can install and boot. But right now, as there's no option in here, unfortunately, no, I couldn't get it to work. As you can see, there is no option to basically switch that SATA mode to ASCII, and it just doesn't boot that way. I installed Fedora, I tried Ubuntu. No matter what I tried, it just doesn't boot. Yeah, you can boot into the USB device and the live environment, but once you install it, it does not work. But as you can see, it is booted from the PoE. Windows worked. We did some benchmarks. You saw that. PoE only works. It gets a little bit hot and toasty, honestly. Not sure about the thermal throttling. I think it does throttle. It's getting very warm very quickly, especially like the USB. When I take it off, it's really hot. The USB itself gets hot also because this one is hot. It is double hot now. So if we want to take a look at inside, you have to remove basically 2 screws, I think. So let me take this off. Okay, so basically inside looks like this, and this is where the power comes in. And I think, yeah, here these components like this one, it's very, very hot, and I think the CPU is under this, obviously somewhere, yeah, under here. So the CPU is here, okay, under right here, and this is the fan for it. And I think the PoE related components are getting very, very hot. So in the long run, it might throttle if you're using PoE. If you're using the USB-C, it does have a different circuitry, it seems like. It's still, you will have a lot of heat coming from the CPU, but just saying. By the way, this is soldered. So if you want to take this off, you have to take the antenna. This is glued, I think. Let me check. Yeah, I'm not gonna damage it, but yes, the Wi-Fi thing in here, this is glued antenna. This is glued to this case. I don't think it's related to heat, but probably shielding. If you know why they are doing this, let me know, please. This looks weird. So this one fits on here. Doesn't look like heat related, and it's not hot at all. Should be antenna and shielding related, but anyway, that's there. But yeah, this thing gets hot. This thing gets hot. But overall, it works, and as you saw that, Windows works. We did some benchmarks, gaming a little bit, not much really. Forget about it. This is not for gaming, so obviously you can turn it into a server. A single Ethernet port is all you need. Everything will work, and yeah, very little powerful computer that you can turn it into some server. And I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah, please let me know if you have any suggestions, recommendations for this, or questions, and I will try to answer all your comments. So before I leave, actually, I have a surprise. So Ubuntu and Fedora, other stuff didn't work, right? The SATA and ASCII, I didn't spend a lot of time, but I couldn't get it to work. But look what happened. So I installed Proxmox, and you can see that's fast forwarded footage here where I installed it. So as you can see, 172.16.1.156 is this, and then if we switch to my main machine, so as you can see, 172.16.1.156, and this is the summary, and this is the machine, this is this one. And I very, very quickly just downloaded an Ubuntu 23 template, and I started a VM container. Let's see. Oh yeah, everything is working, and it's already inside. So if we do etc issue, you can see that this is the Ubuntu 23, and I did that using the Ubuntu 23 template that I had in here, and I started this container. So this device is working perfectly. As you can see, this is the Intel N100 and this device. So as I was saying, a single PoE cable, single Ethernet, no mouse, no keyboard, no HDMI needed. Install a Proxmox, remove everything, right? I'm gonna actually do that, right? So here I remove that and I remove that. So this is running Proxmox, okay? This running Proxmox, and you can have this with a single Ethernet, have a Proxmox and run 4, 5, 3, 2 virtual machines in containers. So you can run an example, Pi-hole, a DNS server, and some sort of filtering, Home Assistant, some other tools. You can run all that in this tiny box. And actually, when I leave the cover open. I have to be honest, this way there is a air conditioner blowing this way. Yeah, I think it feels cooler this way, but also I think it's performing better here. But anyway, this is working as I was saying, and yeah, as you can see, the Proxmox is working with absolutely no problem, and you can definitely do the same thing and use it as your small tiny Proxmox machine for various purposes, right? Everyone have a different needs, but if you want a small lightweight PoE based device that can run Proxmox, this is it, and it's doing very well, honestly. And it was smooth and fast. And if we look at the temperatures, if we are looking at it, the hottest point is 62 Celsius. And put my finger on it in here. Oh yeah, so you see, as I was saying, this is the PoE, so not the CPU, not the CPU stuff, the PoE stuff. So this capacitor and this I don't even know what this one is, but yeah, this and this chip is getting super hot. That's the 6364. So yeah, this is the heat source. These two are the heat sources. Okay, anyway, if you ignore that part, you know, it's doing okay, it's doing fine. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to show you that you can absolutely run a Proxmox on it and run as many containers as it can handle. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and please let me know if you have any suggestion, recommendation, or questions, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.